Hey guys, Sethly here, back with another Apex Legends video. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. In today's video, I wanted to cover a lot of the new leaks that we have recently gotten from the data miner at that one mining guy, basically the guy who leaks everything in the Apex Legends community. He released a lot of stuff over the past few days on Twitter. I'll make sure to link him down below, but let's just get right into these leaks. Now, the main part of these leaks are all mainly for the PVE mode that we expect to come to Apex Legends. My guess is around Season 3, and I'll explain why I think it's going to be Season 3 a little bit later on in the video, but most of the stuff is for the PvE event or game mode, but there is some really interesting stuff about private matches, so I'll get into that as well. Let's start off with the private custom like matches game, where as you guys can see in the files, it says private match beta, PL private match lobby, and then you can play a custom or private match on a map and mode of your choice. Now, that one mining guy tweeted this out and said he wanted to believe that it would be added with this next event, the Voidwalker event, but he did say that it hasn't really gotten changed at all since the beginning of Apex. But I did want to put this in here since it's the first time I've seen anything about actual custom matches. But let's get on to the PvE stuff. Now, this stuff is the really interesting stuff because there's a lot of it, so you guys are definitely gonna have to help me interpret this stuff down in the comment section below, because I don't really know what all of it means. But let's start off with some objectives. As you guys can see on screen right now, there are a ton of PvE objectives, like opening doors, placing things, and opening key cards, using all that type of stuff. Use computer, return to swamp, exit dungeon, enter dungeon, find fuel rod. So there's a lot of stuff, but the main things that one mining guy wanted to point out was the entering the secret lab level 1 and secret lab level 2, aka the IMC labs. Now, we did know that we are getting a new area for the Wraith event, the Voidwalker event, and that is likely going to be an IMC base area lab because Wraith's lore does connect to that stuff heavily, but we don't really know if this PvE mode will be coming. I'm pretty positive it won't be coming with this next event, but I do think that's might have a connection between this enter IMC lab and this new area we are going to get with Wraith, but I'm not too sure about that. Now, let's get on to something I showed off a while back. This is another mission, but I wanted to bring it up again because it has something really important with it. It says Goliath, so it has an objective of killing the Goliath as well as a few other details. As you guys can see on screen right now, it seems to be some sort of one-off mission for PvE, so there might be a chance we will be getting different types of missions and different types of modes within this PvE game mode. But before we get on to the next leaks, I do want to show on screen right now the only time we have really ever seen what Goliaths actually are. In this official Apex Legends Bloodhound wallpaper, we can clearly see Bloodhound is fighting the Goliath, which does look pretty intimidating. However, there is another set of files for a PvE type thing called bait and switch, and it seems like there are a bunch of different things you can do in this mission. I'll show on screen right now, like killing poachers, picking up creature bait launchers, which there's more files for that I'll get into a little bit later. But the thing I wanted to point out in this string of files was this pet hint friendly fire. There's friendly fire for the Goliath, the spider, the specter, tick, and shield tick, as well as it seems to be that there will be different types of Goliaths, spiders, specters, all that type of stuff. A few of those things are actually from Titanfall, so I'm a bit confused on that, but it looks like they might be actually revamping some things from Titanfall and adding them back into Apex in probably this limited time mode PvE event. Now, let's get on to the next thing, which is something that's been leaked for quite a while, but there has been some updates for it. As you guys can see, it says PVE_Tetra objective hover tank countdown, and as you guys can see, it seems like there is going to be a hover tank that rendezvous in certain areas where there are armories around the map, as well as a few other different missions on that string of files. But now on to the next thing, which is more about the hover tank and Tetra. As you guys can see, it does a few different things like disrupting Reapers, disabling turrets, as well as you are supposed to hijack a transport to find the vault. So it looks like that might be the main objective for this PvE objective, defend blocked, which is just killing nearby enemies. But on to the next leaks, which is more about these objectives, except for this is the PvE Exodus description, as well as the Exodus mission. So as you guys can see, it says steal the repulsor tower data before headquarters falls. Now, this is one of the main things that made me think, like, obviously this isn't going to be a Titanfall string that has been left over. It's actually for Apex Legends. Well, first off, mainly because it was added recently with a recent update to Apex, we were able to see a lot of these new files, but also the fact that it says survival artillery, and then as you guys obviously know, artillery is a spot on the Kings Canyon map, so that's one of the main reasons I'm pretty positive most of this stuff is for Apex Legends. Legends and obviously not left over from Titanfall. But on to the next thing, which is something that I mentioned earlier, and it's the bait launcher. I'll show on screen right now. As you guys can see, there is a string of files that says pick up bait launcher hint, and it says you can lure creatures with this special bait projectiles engineered by Bloodhound. Now obviously there you go again, this is another sign that this is 100% for Apex Legends and it's not something left over from Titanfall. So it does seem to be that like Bloodhound engineers some sort of weapons for this PvE mode, which I'm not too sure on where that connects to Bloodhound's lore, but it is definitely interesting. There's also more stuff about picking up lock boxes, which are common, rare, uncommon, epic, and legendary, and these are different types of lock boxes, but I'm not really too sure what it actually means. Maybe they'll contain certain specific loot like the pickup bait launcher, so that might be a specific type of weapon that won't be in normal games but only in the PvE mode, and maybe we'll be able to find those through lock boxes and their different rarities. On to the next thing, which is, there's a lot more guys, on to the next thing, which is something that was recently found that might be for the Halloween event. And if you guys don't know what I mean by the Halloween event, you guys probably didn't see my other video where I covered some really official season 3 leaks like crypto, as well as a few other things. One of the other things that was officially leaked was a skin for Gibraltar, and clearly Gibraltar is some sort of Frankenstein or zombie type skin. It looks really good. Now this has to connect to this file that we did recently find, which could be part of the Halloween event. As you guys can see, it says freelance mode splash zombie first, hot zones find loot and get ready for the final circle. So it looks like there might be some sort of PvE zombie mode that's called infestation, but I'm not too sure about that. But it does make sense because of this leaked Halloween skin. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of this PvE stuff was added in season 3 with the Halloween event, because I'm almost positive there will be a Halloween event because of the official leaks of season 3. So I definitely think this freelance zombie mode is going to be a type of PvE mode that will come in October. As you guys know, we actually did get an update from Respawn themselves describing what we can expect for events in the future, and they did say we would get one in September, which is obviously the Voidwalker event, but they also said we would get one in October. Now this connects with the leaks that we have had for that Gibraltar skin, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Halloween event near the release of season 3 where it is specifically Halloween, and that will probably have the PvE modes because that makes the most sense to me. Now let's get on to the last few things. So this is another thing that is pretty interesting, and it is a no-fill mode for these PvE game modes. As you guys can see, there are options for the freelance hub to use no-fill, meaning you wouldn't get teammates and you would be facing other full squads, but you would just be alone based on your decision, obviously. And obviously we think this is going to be PvE because both the freelance zombie thing starts with freelance, as well as the freelance hub is obviously freelance again, and that's no-fill. So likely we will be getting some form of no-fill mode for PvE. Not 100% sure on that. Obviously all of this is speculation based on files and strings that have been found in the game, but they are really recently updated files that we're pretty positive are going to be for Apex Legends, which is why I wanted to make this video, because a lot of this stuff is really good information that will likely connect to what we get in season 3. But on to the last few things, there isn't much more. There's another thing for PvE mode, which is called time anomalies, and it shoots the singularity or victims to unfreeze time, as well as you cannot interact with objects frozen in time. This might be something from Titanfall. I'm not too sure about that. I didn't play that much, but it does seem like something that would be in Titanfall. However, it is obviously for PvE Apex Legends, so I'm really curious to see what this time anomaly type thing is. Maybe it's a new weapon, but obviously it could be some sort of ability for a character, because there was a resurrection of the scrapped system from the Frontier Defense for leveling up a character to make them pilot-like. That one, Mining Guest says he thinks we might not have legends in the PvE, but there might be just some sort of generic soldier that you can customize. So I'll show on screen right now why he thinks there are going to be generic soldiers named Ghost and a few other things. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they did, because having different types of legends in a PvE mode might make it really weird with the balancing, since obviously some legends would be better against PvE rather than other legends. So that might be why they would make it some sort of default pilot that you can upgrade and customize. But obviously that doesn't really sound like Apex, but there's a chance it will be for this PvE mode. But that's pretty much all the leaks we did recently get for PvE mode. I guess that it will be season 3 with a Halloween event that will bring along obviously the leaked Gibraltar Halloween skin, as well as some different types of PvE modes. Now obviously there seem to be a lot of different types of PVE modes with different objectives and different missions. So my guess is that this is pretty much all the stuff they've laid out, and then they will be picking and choosing which types of objectives and missions they will be adding in Season 3. But again, this is all speculation. Definitely make sure to let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help me out a ton. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that sub button, turn on that notification bell for daily Apex videos. It's been your boy Sethly, and I'm out.